Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Houston Life. It's May 17th, 2022. I'm Derek Shore.
And I'm Courtney Savala. We are distracted by a few cute puppies
Some
in
cute
here.
pups in the
I
studio.
know.
You're going to get to meet them very soon, though. Don't worry.
Also on Houston Life today, meet LaPorte's newest resident, Pennywise. It's a gator.
Oh.
We're going to chat with the man who caught this big guy that came in just under 12 feet.
Wow. Also, the simple tricks you can teach your dog in no time. You don't want to miss this. We've got Cuteness Overload. Is our little text man up for the challenge? We'll find out and meet the special friend he brought today.
So cute. And the family of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg share how they are honoring her life with a musical performance right here in Houston.
Very nice. But before we get into all of that, how about a check of today's forecast? We were out running all over town this morning. It is hot.
H-O-T, Franklin.
Or H-A-U-W-T.
You know, it really is. The humidity is like 42%, so that's not so bad. It's just hot, and it's been hot for a long time. So we're just sort of been in that oven for days now, and it doesn't take long to get really into the 90s, which we do by right around noon. So that's what we're seeing now, and no clouds to hide under. Look how dry that sky is. So the humidity is low. 92 feels like 95, 93 feels a little warmer, 87 in Galveston like 93, 90, 95, 91, 95, 93, 96. So depending on where you are, the bottom line is there are not any clouds over the Gulf of Mexico. So relatively speaking, the air there is dry. So despite the south wind, it could be a lot worse. But I tell you what, it is hot. It's going to continue to be. There's Dante, 94, 92 at 5, 92 at 6, 88 at 7 coming up. We'll take a look at your forecast through the rest of this week, talk about some rain for the weekend, possibly, and have a quick check of the tropics.
I'm going to say no on the rain. It's graduation weekend for Connor, so if we could just hold off on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a big prom weekend, too.
It is.
Yep.
All right, Franklin, thanks so much. We'll see what you can do about that request.
You're going to say no thanks on the rain. I love it. Also, I know Frank just said the humidity is low.
It is.
But when we were out running around town today, we made a bunch of fun stops.
We did.
Zoo, Star Pizza. I swear, like, is it me or does it feel like summer is already here? Is it normally this hot in May?
It's usually not, no.
Okay.
I mean, I will say this morning was lovely. There was a little breeze, but that lasts for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, mark your calendar for May 19th because the Sports Illustrated coveted swimsuit edition is headed out. And you know who's going to be on the cover? Mae Musk.
Your friend.
Yes, my friend. She becomes the oldest Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model at 74. Check this out. You see her screen right there. She is one of 4 models for the 2022 swimsuit edition. You see a few familiar faces there as well. Kim K, singer Sierra, and musician and fashion entrepreneur Yumi Nu. The new issue, of course, is going to hit the stands on May 19th. And I will tell you, you know, I chatted with May. I'm going to call her a friend.
I remember this.
This is back in July of 2020. She was speaking at a Dress for Success event virtually. We had a lovely conversation. And, you know, I think in this moment she was talking about when she let her hair turn gray and not color it anymore. It was lovely to hear from her. And she is one of these women that truly embraces who she is in the moment. And I think we can all take a little bit of a lesson from that, right?
Yeah, well, and she's so much fun to follow on Instagram. She posts these really funny videos and photos. And despite the fact that she is the mother of Elon Musk, I mean, one of the most well-known and richest men in the world, she seems totally down to earth.
Yeah, and you know what? At 74, a super cool grandma, but you know, she didn't start modeling until she was in her 50s, and now she's 74 on the cover, and she's like, you know what? I'm embracing it. We were talking about the cover, the swimsuit, the makeup, the hair, everything, perfection. Just classic, lovely, not overdone, and I love it.
Yeah, we're very happy for her. In fact, I think news broke about this cover yesterday during the show. We saw our phones during a commercial break. So, Mae Musk, if you're watching, we love you, and we hope you'll come back on Houston Life.
Wink, wink.
I mean, even if you could get here this hour sometime.
That would be fun.
So we mentioned her son, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Speaking of families and children, you know how sometimes parents really put pressure on their offspring, like, you should be a doctor or a lawyer, or we want 5 grandchildren. Okay, but what about the grandchildren conversation? You know, sometimes grandparents will say, when are you giving us grandkids? And maybe it's all in good fun, but that can put a lot of pressure on
A lot of, yes.
on people, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if and when you have children, it is a very personal choice, right?
Yes, of course.
So here's the thing. There are these grandparents-to-be. They're not grandparents yet, but they want to be. Oh, yeah, here
These
they are
two?
right there. These two lovely people. Well, guess what? They're suing their son and, and his wife. They've been married 6 years.
Oh.
And they still have not produced grandchildren.
That is the grounds for the lawsuit?
Yeah. So the grandparents-to-be right here, they're suing their son. So here's the logic. The dad says, we want a grandson, or a granddaughter, right, within a year, or we want compensation because they spent their life's earnings putting the son through pilot school, which costs $47,300, in case you're wondering, in the U.S.
So is he not a pilot anymore? What's happening?
No, he's a pilot, but the dad is saying, look, bro, I put you through flight school. Now you give me a grandson or daughter.
Oh, boy.
There's a bit of stifled laughter in the studio.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, but this is for real.
No, I believe it's for real. I mean, their faces show it all. They're very angry. Sorry, in that photo, they're very angry. They're very upset.
How do you know that they're not smiling?
Their faces are mad.
Well,
they're mad. They're upset.
Well, so the dad feels like his son and daughter-in-law are just not even thinking about them at all.
They're probably not.
They're probably not. So there you go. The court, by the way, has accepted their petition.
Really?
Yeah, so I think it's going forward.
Orlando and I had Connor, I think, 6.5 years after we were married.
Oh.
Yeah, took some time. No pressure of a lawsuit from either of our parents, but, you know.
It's never too late. When are you going to have that third, right?
Oh, that is too late. Okay, move on.
How do you know?
Oh, I know.
Why is it too late?
Move on, Derek.
Okay, so I read this story. About a woman. You know how during the pandemic, a lot of us had these grandiose plans. We're like, oh, now we can do this, or we can do that, or now we're going to have all this time to get organized and respond to emails and clean our house.
Oh, yeah, I thought about that for like 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I carried on. I was going to build a she shed.
You were? What do you need in the she shed?
I don't know, like my own space. I just wanted to. I
That's
figured
all-
like it was going to be really easy. Just go buy some 2x4s or something and.
Oh, super easy. Like a sewing machine back there? Like what would you be doing?
No, like.
Pouring cocktails?
Yes, like a mini fridge.
I think you should do that. Everyone should have a she shed, right? Hey, I even want a
lava
she shed. There's still time. Well, but on a serious note, though.
Okay.
So there was this woman who was saying, you know, she had all these plans to do this. She's in her 40s. She's a mom. And she wanted to clean her house. And guess what? She didn't. And she started feeling all this shame. Like, what's wrong with me? I feel like I'm stuck in the mud. I can't do it.
Okay.
Until she was diagnosed with ADHD. And she realized the issue was maybe not the situation. It was, you know, it wasn't her. It was her brain, not the situation.
Yeah.
So she was essentially in this perpetual state of, I'll get to it later. And I think a lot of people can identify with the things we don't get to. When I was younger, I used to think, there is going to be a time when the house is clean and I'm totally organized. And I think this is a great story. It's a reminder that we can all maybe give ourselves a little more grace.
Giving ourselves grace and then also realizing we're not the only ones sort of in that revolving door because there's so many other things happening and we tend to handle the things that are most dire in the moment.
Yeah.
And having a junk drawer or clutter in your kitchen isn't exactly dire for many of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of, you know, that you want a clean space or something, but in the moment, it kind of, when you have that list of things to do, it seems overwhelming. Where do you begin?
For sure. And you know, we built a brand new house so we could get rid of the junk drawer at the last house. And
Guess
the new
what?
one came with a junk drawer.
Isn't that fantastic?
It was a feature the builder included. Somehow we have a junk drawer.
Super smart.
We're human. Okay.
Maybe one day I'll get that she shed.
Yeah, I think you should go for it.
Still to come, this is going viral. Anyone hungry? A little Texas boy accidentally placed a pretty big burger order on his mom's phone. Ahead, we're chatting live with Mom.
Was it an accident, though? I think he knew exactly what he was doing. Also, we're going to meet the family of the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, what they are doing in Houston to honor her life and legacy. We can't wait to have that chat when Houston Life returns right after this. Welcome back to Houston Life. It is time now for our H-Town Sit Down.
Let's meet today's guests. James Ginsberg is the founder and president of Sadie Records, a classical record label based in Chicago. He's also the son of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. James is in town with his wife, Patrice Michaels, a soprano and creator of notorious RBG in Song, a dramatic concert that pays homage to the life and work of the legal pioneer who passed away in 2020. The couple is joining our H-Town sit-down from Holocaust Museum Houston, where they are getting ready for tomorrow's special performance.
And we are so glad to have them both today on Houston Life. Please welcome Patrice Michaels and James Ginsburg, as we just mentioned, the daughter-in-law and son of the late Supreme Court Justice. So we were just chatting during the commercial break and remembering it was September 18th, 2020, when your mom passed away. Hard to believe it's been that long. How are you doing and how is your family?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. We're doing okay. It's been quite a year and a half, as you point out, but seeing the outpouring of love and support and just how much she was appreciated and is remembered is really heartwarming.
And it goes on and on. As I prepared this show, I did a lot of research into the family, of course, and I found that for decades, various people who've been touched by her life have written tributes, and some of those tributes I've included in the show.
Oh, I bet that is just so fantastic, and learning more and more how much your mom and mother-in-law touched so many people, I think is just so impressive. And Patrice, before we get to tomorrow night's performance, James, I know you're also in Houston for a very special occasion, and let's talk about that too and accept a prestigious award.
Indeed, it's the Lyndon Baines Johnson Moral Courage Award, and it goes to, as the name I think speaks for itself, and I think that it's interesting how that word moral courage really applies to both of them. And there's an interesting connection for me in that, of course, Johnson got the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act passed through great effort, and of course it was her dissent in the Voting Rights Act case that propelled her to her stardom, as it were, as Notorious RBG, because that dissent inspired so many people.
Notorious RBG, indeed. And you will be accepting this award tonight at a sold-out event at the Hilton Americas Houston. Patrice, let's talk about RGB in Song happening tomorrow night. This is a really special event, and it's open to the public.
That's right. It's a 75-minute show with no intermission. It's really suitable for kids who are interested in any kind of history, or this particular bubby who is having such an impact on kids and adults all over the country and even all over the world. It's a sort of jazz meets classical style of music featuring 14 songs, some of which are, as I said, tributes from people like one of her secretaries who typed her papers and then was deeply influenced and found herself reacting to people differently as a result of what she learned from RBG, and who also was a flamenco dancer, by the way, this secretary. So many fun stories in RBG's life. One of my particularly fun pieces to both perform and when I wrote it, it was so much fun, was based on a story that was well known in the family. My husband here, apparently when he was a third grader, was even more naughty than he is now, and he stole an elevator at his school. They had, you know, an old-fashioned
lever,
metal grate, you know, that you had to open and shut and then pull the lever. So somebody dared you to do it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Was it Button Weezer or was it not?
I'm not sure at this
All
point.
right, the jury's still out on whether it really was Mr. Button Weezer or not. But anyway, he got caught, of course, right away. And they called Mom, as usual, because he was always getting in trouble, and they were always calling Mom. This particular day, Mom was getting ready to argue a case, and I think she had been up all night probably working on the draft. And when the call came in, she said, you know, this child has two parents. From now on, you will alternate the calls between the father and the mother. Goodbye. And so they did. They called Jim's dad. And when Jim's dad went down,
Are we going to give away the whole
Yeah, of
story?
course we're going to give it away. It's even more fun when you hear it in music.
Okay, so it was one of the rare times when I got in trouble in school that my father actually took my side, because as he told the story, he got to the headmaster's office and was greeted by three stone faces, and the face in the middle said, "Your son stole the elevator." Oh. And my father looked back and said, "How far could he take it?"
So, of course, after that, there weren't so many phone calls coming in about little Jimmy's bad behavior, because it just didn't do that much good. Yeah. So, you know, there was a short but fun story that was told in my presence multiple times, and I just expanded it into this grand musical theater adventure, and it's so much fun to sing because I get to play the headmaster, and I get to play Marty. How far could he take it? And of course, I get to play Jim, because he only got to take it up one floor. And I get to play Headmaster Bar.
And Ruth.
And Ruth, of course.
And one of the things I love so much about this cycle is that so much of it is from the point of view of family, and when you hear it, you'll get an idea of just how progressive not only my father, but my grandfather was. That's another great story.
Morris. I love Morris. I never got to meet him, but this project has allowed me to learn so much about my husband's family. And Morris was a good dancer, and really nice guy, worked his way up from the very bottom to a high position in the corporate world, and he was really as interested in Ruth's individual well-being and development as he was in his son and daughter-in-law's lives. And he gave some very challenging advice, but in a very loving way. So there's a song about it.
Well, it's incredible hearing these personal stories, and James, I know both your parents really loved music. We want to remind our viewers this event is happening tomorrow night, open to the public, 7 p.m. Tickets are $20 if you are a Holocaust Museum Houston member, $25 for non-members. You're in for a treat, so purchase your tickets and get on out there. James Ginsburg and Patrice Michaels, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for stopping by Houston Life.
Thank you for having us.
It was so beautiful to get an insight, right? And those personal stories and all the layers in their family and in their lives. Love it. For a link to purchase your tickets to Notorious RBG in song, visit the Scene on Houston Life section of our website, houstonlife.tv.
All right, still to come on Houston Life. Good news, it's almost summertime. The not so good news, that means it's report card time. How did Tex do this year? There he is as a puppy.
That's a baby photo.
That's so sweet. The first day we met. We're going to find out what his report card shows.
And speaking of report cards, Joe Sam is learning more about a report card for your health. More on the latest technology helping patients at a doctor's office next on Houston Life.
For your health today, Advanced Body Scan of Bel Air is offering state-of-the-art technology that they say could help save your life.
Joe Sam found out what's affecting the health of so many Texans and how these scans potentially can prevent even more issues down the line.
If you can help save your own life, the question is, would you do it? Well, Advanced Body Scan is helping you do so, and we're here to talk with the CEO and founder, Steve Mahler, a little bit more about how you help others save lives. So thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you, Joe. Good to be here.
Absolutely. There's such great technology that you have here with Advanced Body Scan, and this technology really helps save lives.
That's correct. You know, heart disease and lung cancer kill more people than all other diseases combined. And so the positive news in that is these are long-term progressive diseases. And with our technology, we can find signs of that disease at an early stage. And of course, early detection saves lives. If you find it early, we can treat it early. And that's our mission.
It really, really does. And what's great is that your technology really does something different than a technology that are used in hospitals, because a lot of people believe and they think that, hey, I already have this scan, I don't need it. But you really are looking for the details with your scan. Your scan takes it a little bit further.
Yes, so, you know, in most type of medical scanning, it's a diagnostic type scan, where we're doing more of a preventive screening, and the differences are our machines are more detailed. We look at the entire thoracic chest area instead of just one little area of the heart, and it's a faster more designed to find early stage disease than most other devices that are out there.
So Steve, we talk so much about the great technology that you have here that's really helping save lives, but you also have so many great testimonials and success stories from some of your patients.
Yes, we do. It's almost every single day we get a call or an email from someone commenting that they had no idea that they were walking around with a deadly disease, and our technology has found it. As a matter of fact, we got a great story from a guy named Eric here today.
I'm 53. I played basketball pretty much my entire life. I have 2 teenage boys. We went hiking for Mother's Day. We 100% active, never smoked in my life. Never had a symptom of a cardiac incident ever. And I was 1 heartbeat away from dying with 90% blockage in 3 of my coronary arteries, and it's scary.
Probably the easiest medical test you'll ever take. There's nothing invasive, there's no needles, no dyes. You're going to lay down just like you are on this table. It's going to go in and out of the machine a few times, no more than 4 minutes, and you're up and out of there. You can call us at 833-411-SCAN. Again, that number is 833-411-7226. Someone's standing by, they'll take your call, answer your questions, and you can get signed up very easily.
And it's easy when it comes time to pay for it because you have a really great offer that you're offering Houston Life viewers right now, $199 for couples.
That's correct. So for 2 people, $199, you're going to come in and get a heart and lung scan. And the value of that is not only the scan itself, but as I said, you're going to get a calcium score for both people, which is kind of a baseline measure, and then year after year we recommend this, and you can tell if there's been change. You can have this information. We highly recommend they take it to their doctor, and if they need to consult with one of our medical professionals, that's included.
So if you would like to help save your own life, we'll have more information, of course, on our website, HoustonLife.tv, or you can head over to their website, advancedbodyscan.com.
All right, Joe, thank you.
Still ahead, have you seen this photo on your social media feeds? I'm sure you have. It is a giant gator captured right here in Harris County. Our producers tracked down the wrangler. He's going to join us live next.
My goodness. But first, let's check in with Lauren Kelly, who has another story going viral online. Hi, Lauren.
That's right. One South Texas mom and her 2-year-old have gone viral after a supersized DoorDash order surprisingly showed up at her front door. I'm chatting live with that mom to find out how it all happened when Houston Life returns.
Welcome back to Houston Life. I'm Derek Shore, along with Courtney Zavala, just before 3:30.
That's right. All right, let's check in with Keith, Christine, and Frank for a look at what they have coming up at the top of the hour. Hi, guys.
Hey!
I swear, he just jumped on the couch. He's like, let's go.
We're flying
You
into
made
Monday.
it just in time.
Yes.
Yeah, Keith was in the phone booth putting on his cape.
Well, you know, there's that. Yeah.
You had enough time. Your tie's tied.
Yes, and even my shoes.
Whoa!
Yeah,
You had plenty of time.
That's why I was running late, because I had to tie my shoes.
He's doing his exercise indoors today because we all know it's way too toasty to be doing it outside.
Oh my
at this hour,
gosh,
Frank.
yes.
Wow, it's tough out there. It's
And
just been hot for
It
so
is.
long.
Yes, true.
But the humidity's not as bad as it has been, so
Yes,
there's
that's
that.
a good point.
I know. But did you see this? This is nothing
I
but...
do not want to be sitting in that right now.
This
My
is
goodness.
this is a complete closure of the Southwest Freeway at Bissonnette. I
Yeah.
think it's a 3-car wreck. 3 cars. So there's the Southwest Freeway going back toward town. It is, and there's the feeder road. So the feeder is dead stopped, and the freeway is dead stopped.
We hope AC's working.
We'll have more on that at 4, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It just happened just minutes ago. So thought I'd bring that to your attention in case you were headed down to Sugar Land. It's going to take a while. Temperatures in the low 90s, 91, 92, 93, 90 in Lake Jackson. You can see the feels like numbers, 95, 97, 98 in Brenham. So it's there. Humidity 40 to 45% today. If you're doing grilling and chilling tonight, it's a lot more grilling than chilling. 92 at 6, 88 at 7, 86 at 8, and then 82 at 9 o'clock. This high bringing in that south wind, but over the Gulf it's really very quiet, so we don't have a lot of humidity like we could, but enough with temperatures in the low 90s. It just doesn't take much. Here's the futurecast. You'll notice a front on Friday starts to move into the state. It starts to intermingle with this hot and humid flow coming off the Gulf once we get to Saturday. So right now, Saturday and Sunday and even into Monday and Tuesday of next week offer us some rain chances. We'll talk more about that coming up at 4 o'clock. Everybody's talking about this on the internet. This system down in the Caribbean, this is not this week, it is maybe next week. And I'll tell you, this thing has been all over the place and it's been anywhere from a tropical storm to a Category 4 hurricane over the last week. This is the American model. The European has nothing to do with it. It's all about the American model, but I will tell you right now, while the water is warm, there's a lot of high wind shear which would knock that thing down before it even had a chance to develop. And there's a lot of dry, dusty air on the way from the Saharan. So there's a lot against this, and we'll go over that also coming up with the latest runs. In the meantime, this week stays hot, 94, 92. Records are right there at 95 degrees all 3 days. So stay cool this week. A few changes for the weekend.
All right, we'll talk to you in a bit, Frank.
All
We
right.
appreciate the update. Thank you. And here's some of the other stories we're covering for you at 4 o'clock today. Millions of dollars are available to help child care centers in Harris County, but the deadline to apply for those funds is fast approaching. Where the money is coming from and what it can be used for.
Plus, for the first time in decades, a congressional hearing on UFOs. One key lawmaker even saying that the unidentified flying objects must be taken seriously and treated as a national security threat. What else we're hearing and learning from today's hearing?
And nobody likes having their car towed, right? But what happens if you catch the tow truck driver in the act of hooking up your car? Do they have to stop? Investigator Amy Davis has the answer in today's Ask Amy report.
That's not a fun situation.
No,
Blaine.
not at all. Not at all. So
That has happened to me once.
Okay, we're gonna have to get that story.
Oh, we need it. We need the deets.
Not in Daytona.
Wow. Okay. You have more history than just
We're
Daytona.
slowly getting more details about Daytona.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that one.
We sure will.
We'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Okay,
All right,
bye
guys.
guys.
Well, in today's local spotlight, it's an interview you will see first right here on Houston Life. A gigantic alligator was spotted near Pecan Park this week in LaPorte, so LaPorte police and animal control responded.
That's right. But once the police saw how big it was, they had to call in for backup. They called in Gator Wrangler Tim DeRamus, and Tim is joining us now. Tim, this picture. First of all, welcome to the show.
Pleased
Great
to meet
to
you.
see you.
Good afternoon.
Absolutely. Okay, so you got the call to say come out. This was how many alligators you wrangled this year?
I've caught 60 this month.
60.
60 alligators this month.
Just this month alone, and you've been doing this, you told us, for 8 years, about 2,000 gators total?
2,000 gators in 8 years, yeah. Easy, maybe more.
How do you get into this line of work, even?
Well, I was hunting one year with an old man friend of mine back 8 years ago, and we just catching them out of Greens Bayou. There were some pretty big ones back there, and you're allowed to take one with your hunting license each year. And they came on one of the news channels and said, Texas Parks and Wildlife, we're looking to find some people to help wrangle alligators. And so I told my friend, I said, that'd be cool. They'll call us to come get the gators. And so I signed up, and he became a helper, and we did it for about 4 years, and then he passed away on me, and I've been doing it for another 4 years, so it's been 8 years total.
That is incredible. Okay, so this happened yesterday when you got the call. Yes, we have some video that you gave us too. This is you. And you're about to pull the gator out of the water. This is about 24 seconds long. This is a little bit grainy, but did you realize how big the gator was at this point?
When I got there, I could see him under the water.
Oh, dear.
Okay, I wasn't prepared for that. I haven't seen this video yet.
Me too.
It was nice and clear.
Okay.
And, I seen his head under the water, but I couldn't get him to raise it to put the rope on around him.
Right.
And so I tried to lift him with the PVC pipe there, and he didn't like it when I poked him with the PVC pipe. So he basically spun around to try to get me, but basically splashed water all over me.
Oh, okay, so he missed, and I mean, clearly you're fearless, because if you have any nerves going into a situation like this, that's not going to help you.
Well, sometimes I think I'm crazy, and sometimes I think I'm stupid. It's a little mixture of both, but my wife thinks I'm just crazy, so.
Okay, so is the strategy then you poke it with the PVC thing and then you get the rope around it and get it into the trailer? What's the process like?
Well, his head was actually submerged in the mud on the bottom, and I couldn't get the rope underneath him because his head was so large. The rope kept getting stuck in the mud, and so I had to literally raise his head up in order to get the rope fully around his neck. And a lot of times alligators on top of the water, I just cast a fishing rod over them. I'll hook them with a small hook and reel them and fight them like tuna fish on wicked tuna. And they'll get to the shore and they'll run away and they'll come back and do that for about 45 minutes. And then they'll finally get tired enough where I can get a horse rope on them.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull them on the shore. And that's the easy part. The dangerous part is getting on top of them and literally closing their mouth with 80 teeth while they're trying to bite you at the same time.
And this is the alligator twist that we're doing to get him in the trailer.
This is the transfer of the trailer to get him from the animal control place where I had to hold him because I didn't have my trailer at the time.
Sure.
And so we had to transfer him to my trailer, and he helped load himself up and tired himself out a little bit, and we were able to get him on the trailer, and she sprays him down with a water hose, and then I cover him with a few towels to keep him nice and cool.
Okay.
We jumped on the ferry and took the trip to Crosby and Sheldon, where I live, and I unloaded him in the yard, and that's where he'll be for another day or two.
Wait, what now?
I'm sorry, what?
He'll remain in my yard for 2 days. So
he's in your
He's
yard?
living large in your yard?
He's living large in my yard. He's got his own pond, his own shade tree, and yeah, he's having a blast right now. He's
Hotel Tim, I like it.
Wow.
He's waiting for a friend to come so he'd take the long journey to Beaumont with a friend instead of just by himself, one trip at a time.
Right,
My goodness. And listen, we're out of time. How does this gator compare to most of the ones you're wrangling typically?
Every alligator is different. They all have different attitudes, but they're all ornery.
But this is a big one, though, right?
But this is a good size one as far as about average, would you say?
I wouldn't say average. It's above average. It's probably about a third of the gators.
Okay.
A third of the gators are tiny, a third of them are medium, and a third of them are large.
Tim D. Ramus, we have never met a guy quite like you. Thanks so much for stopping by Houston Life.
Pleasure. Pleasure was all mine. Y'all have a wonderful day.
2,000 gators, and he only got nipped last week. He's never been bitten until last week.
Right there on the thumb. Right there.
They're not attack animals. They're not attack animals.
You got to know how to handle them, right?
Yeah, but they're not attack animals. They're not
Exactly.
attack. They're not going to attack you. Just call the Texas Parks and Wildlife, and I'll come out and take care of it.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
Tim. We're going to visit your backyard. Here, kitty, kitty. All right. To read more about this adventure, you can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv. Okay, now trending. This one is also a fun one. A Texas mom and her toddler are now the latest viral sensations.
Why, you ask? Well, Lauren Kelly's joining us now with a live interview. Hi, Lauren.
This is so great, you guys. Adorable 2-year-old Barrett Golden surprised his mom by ordering her lunch using DoorDash. Well, he must have thought she was very hungry as he ordered 31 fast food hamburgers, to be precise. Joining me now is the mom, Kelsey Golden from Kingsville. Hi, Kelsey. Thank you for chatting with us this afternoon.
Hi there.
Well, I
problem.
see you're in the car. Hopefully, you're not on your way to another fast food restaurant.
No, I'm waiting. I'm parked.
You don't need another fast food restaurant stop in the near future, that's for sure. First of all, how did this happen, and when did this happen?
Well, it's funny because the viral thing that's happening is that my son is this 2-year-old genius that got my phone and ordered DoorDash. But the truth is that, 2-year-olds like to see their reflection. And so I let him look at the reflection in my phone and thinking it was locked, but he was swinging it around and doing sorts of things with it. And turns out he was not looking at his reflection. He was ordering cheeseburgers.
All right, so we have to ask you, this came from McDonald's. How much did your total bill cost?
Well, the original bill minus the DoorDash tip that he left was $65. Now, I have my DoorDash automatically set to tip 25%. And so he did tip the driver 25%, and so he got a $16 tip. The total was $91.75.
A $16 tip from a 2-year-old. At least we know that Barrett is definitely a good tipper, just like his mom. But I know that everybody's very curious. What did you do with all those burgers? Did Barrett eat any of them? Were you hungry at all? Look at him sitting there next to him.
Yeah. He ate half of one, and I didn't know what to do with them. So my little town in Kingsville has a community Facebook page. So I posted on there that I have 31 free burgers if anyone is interested. I think my 2-year-old knows how to order DoorDash. And so I guess that's where things kicked off. I got 2 people that came. One was a pregnant woman. She got 6. And then a family with I think there was 7 people in the van, and there were 18 of them.
Kelsey,
the rest I gave to my neighbors.
Last question. Did you finally put a password on your DoorDash account?
I still don't know how, but I hid the app. I hid the app. And Amazon. Apparently, you don't need a password for that either. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Kelsey. Right now, we're going to send it back over to Derek and Courtney. Courtney, did your kids ever do that when they were little, try to open your phone and order something from Amazon?
Yeah, you know, I could only wish it would be burgers. we got like the iTunes or something. It was something, you know, over $100 on iTunes. So what did we get for that?
That is quite a story, quite a story. Well, let's find out what he orders next, Lauren. Okay.
Thanks. Well, it's still ahead. It is a big day for our little Tex man. Will he pass his doggy report card?
We'll find out, but first, the fun and simple tricks your dogs can learn at home. Houston Life will be right back.
Well, welcome back. Teaching your dog how to do some fun and cool tricks at home is easier than you think.
Tex is very distracted right now because his trainer is here. Here with basics,
His
you can start
girlfriend.
practicing. The puppy expert Stephanie Bennett with Believe in Dog Training, along with Lala.
So good to see you. Hi,
And Lala's a 19-month-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
We don't need to say the ladies' ages.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She's ready to work.
It's good to see you, Stephanie. Okay, so you're going to demonstrate a few tricks.
Yes.
Or Lala is, rather.
Lala.
And these are tricks that you've taught her.
Yes, and Lala just received her AKC Novice Trick title.
Very big deal.
And they're good girl. And they're beginner tricks. And so these are really good, fun tricks when it's so hot outside. And what can we do with our dogs to enrich their brains and build a bond and all of that? And so trick training in the air condition is awesome.
Okay.
And fun.
And it's all about repetitive, right?
Yes, it's consistency, consistency, consistency. And so the process is kind of boring because a lot of times we have to repeat small, frequent intervals, as you know, because they get bored and frustrated really easy. So small, frequent intervals, and also remembering that they're ESL students because we know what they want, but we know what we want, but we have to really make sure we're clearly communicating with them. And one of the ways I do that, as you know, is with my clicker.
Yeah, the clicker. Okay, let's run through the first one. We're talking about, is this a wave?
First, we're gonna spin on the platform. Spin.
Very good,
girl.
Spin. Good
Tex is
girl.
definitely watching.
And the clicker is to let her know that we're done?
That she did it right.
Okay.
It marks the moment she did it correctly. Okay. And then she's gonna sit, shake with both hands. Yes. Shake with both hands. High five with both hands. Yes. High five with both hands. Good girl. And you sit and you're waving. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Thank
good
you.
girl.
So good.
Good girl. Okay. And then jump over.
Yes.
And go under. Yay! Good girl. And roll. Down. Roll. Yes! Good girl.
Good girl, Lala.
Free. And jump joy. Yay! And jump joy. Yay! Good girl. And let's hustle. Yes, a hustle. Come on, hustle this way. Yeah, hustle this way. Good girl. Hustle this way. Yes, and hustle this way. Perfect. Oh, you're going to do that now? Okay, come on.
Yes, good
Yes.
girl.
Yes, good dog. And go under, crawling. This way. Yeah, this way. This way.
I see a treat.
Yes,
I see a treat.
Good girl. And bang. Lala, bang.
Oh, good
Good
job,
girl. And then last but not least, come on. And let's take a bow. Good doggy.
Good job, Lala. Okay, that is so impressive. Stephanie, you're going to teach us a couple tricks really quickly. So the first one is shake or paw.
Yes, and so that's a really good one that everybody likes because shake, high five, and then a wave are essentially the same trick.
Okay.
Right, and so usually what I tell people to do is ask them to sit first because that's the best way to do it. I don't want to have the treat in the hand that I want to do high five with, otherwise they're going to focus on that treat. And so what I'll do is I'm kind of holding it here, and then I just, usually if I just start kind of tapping on their foot, good girl, if I tap on their foot, I'm just looking for them to lift up their leg for just a second, and then I'll click it. And when I click, that means they get a treat. So I'm doing this so they keep it a sit. I tap, yay! And as soon as they lift their leg up on their own, I click. And then the cue will start to just become this, right? And then once they're really good at that, sit, then all I have to do is change my hand to that. And that's a high five, right?
Awesome.
From here is to sit, and then high five is that. And then we start to wave. Tex is actually pretty good at a wave.
He's a good waver, yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty good one. And then what I always say, if you want to do both hands, only be very consistent. Right hand with her left, left hand with her right. So that it's always the same picture. Sit. Good. This one and this one. Yes.
So good.
Yeah, good.
Okay, do we have time to do the bang?
Let's do bang.
Okay,
Yes, ready
bang,
for
bang.
Come on. Good girl. And for the bang, we put them into a down, teach them to do it down first. Oh, thank you. And then I lure just to her shoulder. Yes, and then click. Good. And that's a lure. That's the lure that we're working with. And then slowly but surely, I wean off of that lure and start using my hand signal. We have one of the dogs that works at Texas Children's, and instead of bang, they say go night-night.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So cute.
Yes. And then we start to just bang. Oh, thanks. Good girl. Good girl. So it's a slow process where you really work with increments, right? You mark little tiny increments, slowly get there, and then finally we're able to just say the word and the cue, and then down, down. But you have to start very slow in teeny tiny increments, being very consistent and patient.
Patient.
Small
and lots of yummy treats.
Yeah, that's right.
Stephanie Bennett, thank you so much. Lala and
my
Tex, thanks for
pleasure.
coming by. We'll
girl.
see you
Say hi.
again.
To connect with Stephanie, click on the Scene on Houston Life section of our website.
So cute. All right,
Thank
coming
you.
up, school is almost out. How did our little Tex do in class? Up next, we're going to take a look at his recent performance and hand over his report card. Uh-oh, don't go away. It's going to be okay. Well, of course, little Tex is growing up, and this is video from when we adopted him at the Houston
The very
SPCA.
first day.
I know, 4 years ago. He was a little nervous. He didn't want to approach me, but, you know, eventually he warmed up, and I think that means he's ready for pre-K.
Oh, my goodness. Look at him. He's like a little nugget.
And his fur was a little darker.
It's totally different. Oh, look at that sweet face. So, how did he do this year at school? Let's take a look.
Try to pet him. Texie, look at his hair.
I know, he's super coiffed. So we have a television outside.
Oh, Tex.
Oh no.
Oh. Sorry, that was.
You could have let that go. Nobody would know.
My eyelashes are like singeing
Curling?
off. I need to.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh, he is so cute.
I told Tex to stop eating at that taco truck down the road.
Oh my gosh, Derek.
He won't listen.
Listen, Stephanie's still with us. We do have our report card. Did you finish, Steph?
Yes.
Wait. Okay. Did you do yours already? I need to
did.
fill mine out. I think
Okay.
he's ready to go, B. He might jump down. I don't want him.
I think he wants to be closer to Stephanie.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning, I mean, I think the point we could make here too is that a lot of training is involved in Tex's, you know, behaviors, but we get to see him at all hours of the day. He just happens to be very tired during Houston Life.
Which this is why he's here, though. He should be hard at work for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
totally.
ready. I think he has a B in behavior, an A in feeding, because he's always eating something. The B was because he growled at me like Chucky. An A for grooming, because his hair is always lovely. His fitness, a C, because he doesn't ever go anywhere without being pushed in a cart.
That's not
And his
true.
extracurricular, I'm going to say an A, because he's game to do whatever. So I'm going to give him, what is that, a B? Is that a total of Bs?
I think that
He's
sounds
passing.
good. Stephanie, do you want to weigh in?
Sure, my turn? Okay, so I've got a little bit of a different view. So I was telling Derek before that he is oftentimes, you know, like at work, when we go to work, sometimes we're a little tired and it's boring because I go to work, but I see him at school and I see him at recess and he loves
zip,
recess
zip.
and he plays
does.
hard. So here's what I have to say. For behavior, I say it's an A because you know what he is? He's the greatest little therapy dog. He's such a good, well-behaved and loves everybody and is really, really wonderful to all the people and makes everybody feel great, right? And then for feeding, yes, he has a B because he does tend to guard a little bit. He does tend to go mine, right? But at least he communicates, right? We know communication is
Right,
good.
thank you for growing.
Yes, and then grooming, he always, I mean, my God, it's a lot of grooming he has to go through.
Yes,
so that's
he
pretty
always looks
great.
good.
Yes, fitness, recess. He loves recess, y'all. He loves
Okay.
it. And he loves swimming, he loves the pool, he loves to play. Zoom, 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 zoom. And then extracurricular, so that's a B because when we do training, he gives me about 2 to 3 minutes, and then he's like, no, recess time.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, but he does get an A for staying active despite his tiredness during the 3 p.m. hour. I gave him an overall A-, but he really is an A+ in my heart. I just see that little baby I first met at the Houston
so
SPCA.
He's game for anything, really. He's a good boy.
Bennett, thanks so much. And Texie, good job. Good
High
job,
five.
buddy.
I love you.
High
I
five.
love you.
After the break, a look at what is coming up on tomorrow's show as we celebrate our medical heroes.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. Good job. Coming up tomorrow on Houston Life, we are live from the Texas Medical Center celebrating everyday heroes in our medical community.
We'll meet a former dirt bike racer fighting to walk again, how he's inspiring others, plus who he calls his heroes.
And did you know the Texas Medical Center has its own orchestra? It is made of medical professionals. This is so cool. I had a chance to meet them, and you have to see them and hear them. And it is such a spectacle to see them all in their scrubs.
Right.
Practicing
So
after
cool.
a long day at the hospital. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's show.
No, so many great things. Also, I got a chance to meet the life flight crew and the helicopters. Amazing. The whole show is going to be packed tomorrow. It'll be lovely.
Okay, we'll see you then. In the meantime, that does it for Houston Life.